Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I would do a no foundation get ready with me, and it's been like almost a year since I've done one of these, and I want to show you my quick 5-minute makeup where I don't want to put on a full face of foundation, but I also want to look presentable and conceal my blemishes and all that good stuff. And yes, I am in a different location. I'm in my living room, hence my TV behind me. I thought I'd switch up the background a little bit, and also because yeah, my boyfriend's sleeping right now, so I can't film in my bedroom. But yes, I'm sorry that it looks a little lopsided. I don't know why my TV looks crooked behind me. It's very interesting. If you want to just get ready with me and see my quick little makeup routine, then don't forget to please subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell so you know when I post, and without further ado, let's go ahead and get on into it.
I'm gonna crash your video, steal your thunder.
Meanwhile, I gave her, baby.
I'm just gonna randomly walk through the background of your camera, of your filming.
Okay, so I moved you because this is just better lighting this way, so we're just gonna roll with it. I have all of my essentials packed into this little travel bag right here. Basically, this is like good enough for a 5-minute no foundation routine. And yeah, I'm just gonna pull out some things and just show you as I go what I do. This is super key for me, especially today is a weekend, and I don't really like to wear makeup on weekends unless I'm filming or I'm going out to something today. I just have some people coming over, we're going shooting at the range, and it's something that I definitely don't want like a full glam kind of situation, but I would also not like to look like a hobbit. So I figure this is a good happy medium. And so with that being said, while I don't necessarily think a full-on primer is necessary, I do like to always take on my no makeup days, no foundation days, the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Stick. It looks like this. They also recently came out with a matte version that I don't have because I think this is fine as is. This is basically a stick version of the Photo Finish Primer, which is like their iconic silicone primer that I've used. People's like playing with her ball. That I haven't used in a while. But this is really nice for no makeup days because it just kind of smooths everything out. So I'm just going to apply this right here to my T-zone. You can see it kind of blurred out right away. You can see the difference between here and here, like the shine between here where I don't have the stick and then here. So I'm just going to do that. And then I don't do much of this. I just do a little bit around my nose and then kind of on my chin. I don't really touch the outside primers on my face, and you can kind of already tell on camera that yes, my imperfections are still visible, obviously, because I have not covered them up. However, I have been able to kind of mattify and smooth out those areas, which is really the purpose of this. So I think this is great if you're someone who does want to do a little bit of something without adding any coverage when you're going out, and also because it is getting in the triple digits here in Vegas. So it is very hot. It's not cute when your foundation's getting all cakey and sweaty. It's just not the business at all. So that's why I like doing this. You can kind of already tell it's a little bit more smooth. Obviously, I've got some nice little hyperpigmentation, and these are some nice pimples down here because of that now a month. But overall, it looks a little bit more poreless and smooth. So moving on to concealer, this is absolutely essential. Today, I'm going to be using the Smashbox Studio Skin Flawless Concealer. I've spoken about this in my May favorites, which I will link above and below. And I recently hauled this in the VIB haul. For a day where I'm not going for super full glam and, you know, doing the whole shebang, I don't always go with 2 different concealers. Sometimes I like using a brightening one underneath my eyes and, you know, to highlight my face. However, I think this one is good enough because it's a happy medium between something that is my skin tone but something that I can also use to brighten under my eyes, and I'll show you. So this is in the shade Light Medium Cool. It's got a really nice flexible doe foot, and I would also recommend on days where you're not doing foundation to not use a super heavy duty concealer. So I have a few favorites that I like to run to for this kind of thing. This is a really nice one because it's more liquidy and it blends out easier. The First Aid Beauty Hello Fab Concealer is amazing. That's like my go-to for no makeup. This one has a little bit more coverage, so I like that for days where I have a lot of spots to cover. But as you can see, I'm just going along here, a little bit here, and then on my blemishes or dark spots, which you can see right here. And a little goes a long way with this. So I'm just gonna take this guy right here. This is the Ulta Beauty Precision Foundation Brush. It looks like this. This is like my favorite, sorry, it's got like a little bit of foundation there. This is like my favorite of all time to blend out concealer. It's amazing. It's technically a foundation brush, but look how perfectly it fits underneath the hollows. Like, this is amazing for concealing. Just going to blend this out. The great thing about this concealer is that it doesn't dry super fast. When it sets, but it's not like the e.l.f. camo or something else where it dries super quickly and then it stays intact and there's no hope. And you can kind of see the peachy effect kind of brighten my eyes at the same time. I don't know if it's noticeable on camera, but I can definitely tell in person, and that's something that I really enjoy on a day where I'm not going to be using necessarily a brightening powder, because every single day where I do apply foundation, I do apply the Essence Brighten Up Banana Powder underneath my eyes. I think that makes a huge difference. But if you're going, you know, quick on the go, if you don't want to hassle with that, then I would say skip on that. And then what I like to do is I like to just drag my brush on the other parts of my face where I don't have any product. This just helps to kind of unify everything and make sure that everything is the same tone. And then when it comes to concealing blemishes, I like to really pat instead of, because you see how I was kind of dragging with my under eye concealer. When it comes to things I really want full coverage with, I like to really just like pat it in. So that way I'm not swiping the product across a broader area than I want to concentrate it on. But at the same time, I am making sure that it doesn't look like night and day, like no coverage to why is this spot all of a sudden like perfectly, you know, one shade. Okay, and you can obviously still see there's a little bit of pigmentation peeking through, but I think for a day where it's like, you know, obviously very minimal, you want it to look like your skin, you don't want to look like there's a heavy mask on. I think this is sufficient. I'm content with it, and you know, I'm just trying to blend out areas where I see there might be demarcation between the product and my actual skin. But on a day like this, I'm fine. This is not gonna kill me. It's not the end of the world. So moving on to powder, especially if you're oily like me, and especially if you're going out into the sun, it's absolutely essential to set everything down, not super heavily, but with something nonetheless. So I'm gonna take what I spoke about in my touch-ups video, which I'll link above and below. This is the BareMinerals Sexy Mama Anti-Shine Translucent Powder. It claims to have tiny oil-absorbing spheres. It looks like this. It's perfect on the go because it has a little mirror. Here's your little powder, and then it just folds up like this, so it's super compact. And I take this with me every day to work when I want to touch up, and it's in my little not touch up, but my little 5-minute no makeup bag. I'm gonna take this, and I'm going to take my travel kabuki brush, which is this Eco Tools guy right here. Looks like this. You can kind of do it like this, and then I'm just going to kind of open up the bristles on my hand and dab it into here. And not a lot of product comes off, which is nice because it's translucent. And I'm just going to lightly pat over the areas. Now, if you're dry and you're only applying concealer to certain areas, like maybe just a couple blemishes, you do not need to set this all over your face. However, even though I did not apply concealer to every single part of my face, I still want to set it down because I'm oily and I get oily fast. So it obviously depends on what your skin needs and what you feel is best. But for me, this is just what works because it'll just keep me a little bit fresher looking, because even when I'm not wearing foundation at all, like no makeup at all, and I go out into the sun and I start sweating, it still looks like a hot mess. So because this is translucent, it's not going to add a lot of coverage per se, but it is just going to help keep a nice mattified appearance. And I just like to tap this in here. This is not a swiping brush by any means. It's kind of like a dense kabuki, not like something like this, which is my bronzer brush that I'm using today. This is the e.l.f. complexion brush. You can see these bristles are a lot flimsier. This, however, is more dense, so you definitely want to use this in a patting motion. So once that's done and you've powdered, you can pretty much do whatever you want. For me, on a no makeup day, or when I am rushing and I don't have a foundation base to go off of, I like to go in with something like either a shimmery blush or a shimmery bronzer, just to kind of give some definition to the face without going full throttle with bronzer, blush, and highlight. So today I'm going to be going in with the Milani Baked Bronzer in the shade Soleil. This has actually been my go-to like no makeup complexion product besides powder ever since I purchased it, because it's got a nice kind of glow that works to just brighten up your face and to add a little bit of luminosity and definition at the same time. So when I'm just using this, I don't really feel the need to go in and add blush. And similarly, if I'm just using blush, I love using one of the Milani Baked blushes. Like if I decide, nah, I don't want to do bronzer, today is just a blush day, the Milani Baked blushes are amazing because they have that sheen, that luminosity that really just gives life back to your skin. So today I'm going in with the bronzer, and I'm going to take that e.l.f. brush I mentioned, really dip this in here, really saturate the brush, tap it off, and just go on the perimeters of the face. Now obviously, since it's a quick makeup look, I'm not going to bake. I'm just going to liberally apply this to the perimeters just so that I can have that warmth. Bring it down my chin and my neck. And then also I like to just kind of run this on my nose just to give it a little bit of definition, and then a little bit on my eyes, just like a nice little sweep. And we're done. And you can see it kind of gives a little bit of life to my face. Otherwise it would have looked completely matte, which is not ideal. You don't want something that looks super flat on a no makeup day, because then you just look a little bit meh, and you don't want to look meh. Okay, so I am not going to be applying blush today. However, another product I mentioned in my touch-up tips video, this is the ColourPop Super Shock Cheek in the shade On the Cusp. This is a collaboration by Kathleen Lights. It's a cream product, and I used to be very intimidated by cream products, especially since I have oily skin and I always put powder on, and it's cream on top of powder can be tricky sometimes. And while I still don't utilize cream products fully in my routine, this is probably like the only cream product I use. This is amazing for touch-ups because you're using it with your finger, or I like to apply it with my finger, and we'll just tap it into the skin, and I'll show you. So I'm just going to take my third finger. You can see right here it's very reflective, and I'm just going to lightly tap this on my skin, on the cheekbones. And I love this for a no makeup day, because if you're not doing anything, it looks way more natural on your cheek on top of foundationless skin than powder, because it just looks like one with your skin, So I'm just going to take this down my nose, and then also take it down this cheekbone as well. I used to hate using fingers, but now I love it for this product in particular. You can always just like mesh it in a little bit better. I'm going to take this Luxie little pencil brush. I'm just going to dab it on my brow bone a little bit, and then also on my inner corners. For eyebrows, let's start with eyebrows. Normally on a daily basis, when I'm going to work, when I'm going out with a full face of foundation, I use brow pencil. But when I do something like this, I automatically eliminate that and I just use brow gel. But it can be tricky to find something that's sufficient to really just fill in their sparse gaps and to give you definition at the same time. Because for example, my Wet n Wild Nothing But Brunette brow mascara, that doesn't do anything to help fill in your brows. It just kind of gives you a little bit of definition. This is the ColourPop Brow Boss Gel, and this is a very wet formula, and it's very pigmented, so it disperses a lot at a time. I actually even like to wipe this off, but on a day like this, I don't need a brow pencil because it's so emollient and it's so rich and saturated in pigment. It kind of reminds me of the Anastasia Dip Brow Gel that she just released. Kind of the same thing, where it's like a 2-in-1 where you don't have to fill in your brows at the same time. So I am just going to comb this through. Got my baby hairs. Comb this through. And you have to be careful of the clumps because it can deposit a lot at a time. But you can see like this eyebrow compared to this one, like it automatically looks darker, looks more defined. Like I'm ready to go. And they can look a little messy, and that's totally fine, because if you have like an angular cutout brow for like a no makeup look, it kind of looks a little bit less organic. I really recommend this product if you're someone who doesn't like filling in your brows with pencils, but you do want something to give you that definition and that volume like right away. This obviously does the job. Like you can see, it's pretty freaking amazing for no brow pencil. Moving on to eyeshadow. Of course, you can go in with an eyeshadow palette. I actually had brought out this one by Anastasia. However, for something that you just want to go like swipe it on your eyes and be good to go, I just got this in. This is the ColourPop Super Shock Shadow in Vela. This is a collaboration also with Kathleen Lights, and this is the prettiest like duochrome pink that's truly stunning to just put on your eyes. So because I have a little bit more time today, obviously you do whatever you want to your eyes. It does not need to be anything elaborate at all. I'm gonna take that same Milani bronzer we used on our face, and this is actually something I do every single day when I don't wear eyeshadow. I just take the same bronzer I use, repurpose it, dip a large transition fluffy brush in. This is the Morphe M504. Bam, just sweep it in my crease. Most of the time I'm done like that. Like I don't do anything else. And actually most of the time I don't even highlight my brow bone or inner corner. I just did that today because I was feeling pizzazzy. But done, just sweep it on. It gives you a little bit of definition, as you can see. But if you want to take it one step further, I've spoken about the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Volume 3 palette, I believe, which is all shimmers. And in my everyday makeup routine where I did like a full face foundation, I'll link that above and below if you want to see a little bit more of a glam everyday makeup look. That one, I used that palette, and after I applied something in the crease, I just went in with a shimmer shade. I'm going to do that today with a ColourPop Super Shock Shadow in Vela. You can see it's very pigmented. I'm just going to swipe that on my lids. And it's very easy, very foolproof. Again, you don't have to do both. You can do one or the other. Sometimes I just do this. Sometimes I just go in with my bronzer and call it a day. But I love that these Super Shock shadows are also like creams, so it's best applied with your finger, of course. And then if you really want to spice it up and you really want to define like the outer corners and do a little bit of that, you can obviously take something else. I'm going to take the Anastasia Soft Glam palette. I'm going to dip into Rustic right here, and with that same crease brush, keeping it minimal, I'm going to just flicker that ever so slightly on the outer corner through my crease. And then I'm going to take a little pencil brush right here, and I'm just going to run that same Rustic shade that we used on my lower lash line. Again, this is optional. I'm just doing this today. You do whatever suits you and your needs. On a daily basis, I never apply shadow or liner to my lash line, but I thought, why not today? And bam, eyes are done. Super easy. I'm going to apply mascara, of course, but the eyeshadow is done, and you can see it kind of has a little bit of something. So for mascara, because I'm not going to use lash primer that I do on a everyday glam basis, I'm just going to take a mascara that I know gives me the effect that I want right away. No matter what I'm doing, I always use a lash curler. I just feel like it makes a difference because my lashes by themselves are short. So I'm just going to take this lash curler by Tarte, my favorite one. Just going to curl my lashes. And then I'm going to go in with the Essence Lashes of the Day Super Volume Mascara. This is a very dramatic mascara, so a little goes a long way. So it's great because if you're in a rush, you can just do like a few swipes like that and you're good to go. I would suggest that if you could only do one thing to your eyes, liner, shadow, or mascara on a no makeup day, or if you're rushing, just do mascara, because there are plenty of days where I don't want even apply any shadow at all, not even bronzer, and I just go with mascara, and it automatically just makes your eyes look a little bit more awake. And you can see it right there. So one of my favorite go-to lipsticks on a no makeup day is the BareMinerals Gen Nude lipstick in the shade Strip. It's kind of like a lipstick balm hybrid, but it gives you such a nice wash of color and sheen, and it's a cream lipstick. Very emollient, very foolproof. You don't need a liner or anything, and this is great for a quick day where you just want to apply something and be good to go. Like I did just now, and you can be super liberal in your application, not worry about anything else. And then last but not least, I recommend setting everything down, not necessarily with a setting spray, but something that is a little bit wet just to lock in all your powders. For me, since I don't have a lot on my face, I don't need to go in with like an Urban Decay All Nighter or Kat Von D Lock It. Like, I am fine going with something like this. This is the Mario Badescu facial spray. I use this every day. I just spoke about it in my empties video, which I'll link above and below. This is a great skin treatment spray, and it's also a great nourishing facial mist. So I'm just going to use this to set it down. And this is actually the cucumber, aloe, and green tea version that I keep in my touch-up bag for work, and this just gives me a quick little refresh. All right, everyone, and that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed kind of this laid-back, chill, get ready with me. Yes, my hair is shorter, and please ignore the hair dents from when my hair was up all morning. But I really wanted to just kind of sit back and show you my everyday, or not everyday, but this is like my weekend casual where you want to put a little bit of something on, but you don't want to do a lot. You don't want to do like a full face of foundation and all that stuff, but you still want to do kind of like the bare minimum to bring your features back to life. Or if you're someone who's in a rush and you just don't want to apply a lot. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it. Thumbs up for surprise appearances by my boyfriend. All right, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Just